Right, so I'm fresh back off 4-day holiday, and it's been really interesting actually looking at how the auto feeders have been working. And you know what, I thought to start with, why would I want auto feeders? Surely the best bit about koi keeping, or some of the best bits, is being able to feed the fish either by hand or just getting used to just giving them a little bit of food, watching them eat, keeping an eye on them, all that kind of good stuff. And I thought, why would I want an auto feeder? So I've never had one in a long time of keeping koi, but I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. So I'm going on holiday. I tried out the two in my last episode, so two on the quarantine tank, and this little one over here for the main pond. That one actually was 3 litres, and then I've put a 5 kilogram. I'll have to check it. So it takes 2 kilograms of pellet in here and 5 kilograms of pellet in there. I've just chucked the bucket on the top and put a hole in it, but that worked a treat, and it came back and there was still loads left in there, but they've been getting loads of food still. It was only gone 4 days. They ate about 3 or 4 kilograms of food. So and they're looking good, nice and happy. But you know what, there was a couple of times last week when actually I couldn't get down here because I was working, doing lots of different things, and it just didn't work out. I was busy with with family life, couldn't get down to feed them. Normally I'd come down, chuck a few handfuls on, just keep them going, but actually I couldn't. But the auto feeder was great. I know for a fact it's giving them 6 square meals a day, and they're happy as you like. And when I do come down, to be quite honest, they're still really hungry and they still want to eat loads. So not only are they getting loads, it's really beneficial for them. They're feeding from 5 in the morning to 8 at night. They're also getting feeds from me during the day when I pop down. So they're getting way more food. The filters are getting a good balance. They're getting food consistently coming through the system, so it's not overloading at any points in the day. So that works really well from a filtration point of view. The fish are getting their food when they want it. They're getting loads of it, and it gives me a bit of time back as well. So it's been really nice. And then I've been popping down here, like I say, they've still been really hungry. They've been eating loads. So it's not like I miss out on the feeding them myself now. It just means they're getting more food, which these guys have definitely been packing it on. Let me spin you around quick. So these are all 2-year-old fish now. I think maybe with the exception of, I'm not sure actually, mirror carp in it. No, I think they're all 2 to 2.5 years old. This mirror carp down here, he actually looks quite clean from this side, but what I noticed as soon as I did put the auto feeder in, which is over here, the pellet comes straight out there. All pellet all mixed up. Pellet drops straight out of there, comes in here. Actually created a bit of I don't know what you'd call it, but normally I chuck the food in here and it's sort of washes down here and they all feed around this area, but because it was coming here, it was congregating all around here close to the window, which I wasn't too happy about. If they jump out, they can't jump out that way. They can't really jump out that way because of all the plants. They could jump out here and they could jump out here, but because I've been feeding them over here, it's never really given me any concern. But because the food was congregating here, it did worry me a little bit. And what I also noticed with that mirror carp is he actually, after having the auto feed on for a couple of days, he actually lost 2 scales on the side of his flank, which was definitely from going crazy feeding, splashing quite a lot. Could have really caught it on one of the planks on the side or on the glass here, not too sure what he did, but he lost a couple of scales on his flank. If he comes past, I'll try and point it out. So straight away, what I did with the auto feeder, and this has made a massive difference, is I put more sinking pellet into the mix. So there's majority of it was floating, but I bought a a less fatty pellet, but a sinking one, and I put more into the mix. So that has worked a treat. So there, rather than all of the pellet being on the surface, then thrashing and going crazy, splashing, there's a load of water spilling out here. They're all going absolutely crazy because they're hungry constantly. But yeah, because of that kind of thrashing and splashing, they were, I don't think, doing themselves any favours. Like I say, that big one lost the scale. So the sinking pellet worked an absolute treat. So I reckon I've got about a 50-50 mix in there now, 50% sinking, 50% floating. And in the floating, there's different types of floating. So there's pellet, mealworm, that kind of stuff, and different sizes. But they always go for the sinking first, and it just takes away the stress and the strain of them on the surface. So when the pellet comes out, it drops straight down. They all go for the sinking first, then they come up, but by then they're already chewing, munching away. So when they come back up to the surface, they're picking away at it slowly, and that's just made a massive difference to the way they're feeding. It's a lot calmer on the surface. Could be still crazy on the bottom, right? They're still going crazy to fight for the sinking pellet, but they're not doing themselves any damage or any harm down the bottom. So if you are going to whack an auto feeder on, which I really would recommend after having one myself, just think it's just great for the fish, great for your filters. It takes quite a lot of stress away, but I would say make sure you've got a good balance of floating and sinking in there, just to stop any kind of damage or casualties. So that's what I picked up from that. And like I say on here, this came with a 2 kilogram or 3 litre bucket already on the bottom, but I've just added another one on the side of there, and just topped it up with my own little mix, and then that just chucks out food 6 times a day. So they're loving that at the moment, and all is good. Like I say, just come back off reasonably long holiday, 4 days, and they are happy as you like. Obviously had to clean the glass and all that malarkey, but all good. And then all my little quarantine guys, or fry tanks, so I've got 2 fry tanks in there, they're on these little feeders. So this has got a little program setting on the other side. Over here you can program all that. Unfortunately I have to turn it around if I want to do the settings on it, but it's all packed up, ready to go. Got an extension on there. It's all full up with nice 2mm floating pellet. You give it a little shake, get little pellets come out. It's on a little rotation bar underneath there, but the pellet just drops down. And then these guys are definitely packing it on. They're all down the bottom, so I just fed them. So they're all down the bottom eating all the grub that I've just tipped in there. But these guys are definitely packing it on at the moment. I've got these that set at minimum 24 degrees. That's a goshki, baby goshki. I only worked that out a little while ago. Just starting to pick away at what these fish are. So as they get bigger, it's starting to become really obvious. I mean, look at this little guy here. Deutz, it's either Deutz Hiyatsuri or Deutz Hishoa, but he's super cool, that little guy. There's some other little classics in there as well. There's a couple of Beckos in there, one Ginrin, one not. There's a linear line on that. That's a big Becko, that one, big Deutz Becko. So as they get bigger, they're definitely becoming more distinguishable as far as what type of koi they are, which is really helping me go through them. Well, I've only been through them once, so I'm going to have to go through them again. And then all these guys in here, I've still got to go through them, but they're on the auto feeder as well. But those little things are brilliant. They're only 18 quid. They're for fish tanks, but I bought the extension on there, which is really good for bigger pellet and more feeding, I suppose. So that's working a treat. So that's my little auto feeder update.